Come in.
Hey, Mr. Godwin,
Hi, how are you?
Good, good.
Now, Wendell Godwin, National Sales Manager. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Montgomery, Netsuite. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me.
Absolutely.
Mind if I take a seat?
Have a seat. It's a big desk, so spread out.
Absolutely. You don't mind if I use your desk to take some notes?
Nope.
Thank you, sir. Mind if I call you Wendell?
That's fine.
Alrighty, Wendell. Before I forget, real quick, here's my business card. It's got all my personal information. I want you to go ahead and give me a call at any time.
Okay. Thanks, Matt.
Not a problem. How you doing today? Figuring out the storms?
We are. We're holding our own here. We're ducking for cover once in a while, but we're making it.
Absolutely. Well, interesting change of events that brought me in here today. I was actually up north visiting one of my new customers, who's actually one of your long-term customers, Lewis Ferguson up at Cedar Point in Ohio.
Yes, I've heard of him.
Yeah. He bought the new Millennium Force from you, that roller coaster ride. So he wanted me to set up a meeting with you to see if you can benefit as much as he has from our product NetSuite.
Okay.
So, with that being said, I did some investigation in your business, and I just right now want to find out a little bit more about your business operations, specifically in regards to how you manage your customer relationships in your sales force. Then I want to go ahead and introduce to you our product, NetSuite. I want to coordinate with you, learn some of your goals and needs as a business, and explain how NetSuite can help you meet these goals. So does that sound like something you'd be willing to talk about?
Very much so, yes. Okay. That's why we're here today.
Okay, great. I do understand as owner of Global Amusement Rides, you are the primary decision maker. However, is there anybody else that you would feel benefit from sitting in our meeting today?
Probably not at this early stage, at least at this point.
At least at this point.
Yeah, in my role, I pretty much would have the authority to look and make these kind of changes for our operation.
Absolutely. And what is the decision-making process for purchasing a business tool such as this throughout the organization?
Well, it would depend on cost. If we have certain purchasing authority levels with the different directors and VPs, and my role had a level that's fairly high. So if it became over my threshold, then we have to go to our chief operating officer.
Okay. Do you run it through some of your sales representatives and regional managers as well?
Definitely, we get to that point in the process, we would probably have some other people in our organization take a look and kind of feel if it's got advanced technology, we would do that. Okay,
great. All right, right now what I'd like to do is just ask you a couple questions to make sure I have a full understanding of your business so I can thoroughly tailor this presentation to meet your needs. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. I understand you guys have been in business since 1906. You have a manufacturing and distribution center in Orlando, Florida, and you currently sell amusement park rides, new rides and used rides more specifically. The new rides actually are your most profitable area, while however the used rides sell faster. Is that still accurate?
Yeah, that would be correct.
Okay, so would you say the new rides are a more substantial part of revenue for your organization?
It's about 50-50.
It's about 50-50?
Yeah, it's pretty close to being 50-50. We make more gross margin on what we sell than we make, yeah, that would be correct.
Okay, great. I also understand your target market is amusement parks, that's located within designated areas or territories for your sales representatives throughout the United States. However, how are you currently managing and overviewing your customer relationships or your sales force? How are they managing your customer relationships?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, not very effectively.
Not very effectively?
Our processes are very laborious, and we actually do it through email, through Word, and a lot of sticky notes. That's part of the reason why you're here today. Is we've definitely uncovered a need to advance the technology in that area. Because it's a very manual process to do.
So with these programs as Words and sticky notes, since these are located in obviously only one area, how would it affect your organization if, say, a sales representative didn't show up for a day or wasn't there to share the customer relationships and take advantage of leads?
It's devastating.
Devastating?
Probably more so, to your point about missing leads and sticky notes missing. Turnover, when we have turnover, because all of that contact knowledge resides at an individual who uses like a day timer type system, and they leave, and obviously they take it with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're like starting from scratch and kind of scrambling through our records to uncover some of that basic contact information.
So it would be beneficial for your organization to have a system that universally allows you to access information and use that information to make wise business decisions?
That would be safe and sound.
That would be safe.
Yeah, that would be one of the benefits.
Right now I want to talk a little bit about your sales force and your sales representatives. I do understand you do have 30 sales representatives. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Okay, and there's 15 per district.
Actually, that's not that. There's myself. At the national level, I have 2 regional sales managers. And then we have 6 district sales managers. And then they tree down to the 30 total sales reps in our, but the number 30 is the correct number for the sales reps.
So there is quite a bit of supply.
Excuse me.
I apologize.
Oh,
for
not a
interrupting.
problem, not a problem.
Can I grab you for a second?
Oh, excuse me just a second, Matt.
Absolutely,
Hold on.
absolutely, not a problem.
Matt, I apologize
Oh,
for the
it's not a
interruption.
problem. Not a problem.
We had kind of an HR issue I had to get involved in.
Not a
But
problem.
on another note, I thought that since you were talking about some of the things that are impacting the organization, I wanted to bring
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
2 additional people
Absolutely.
here.
Matthew
This
Montgomery,
is Lindsay.
Netsuite.
Lindsay's our Vice President of Marketing,
Matthew Montgomery, Netsuite.
and Eric is our Vice
Okay.
President of Sales.
Okay, great.
The other part of this is caused a little bit of a challenge for us, and
Yeah.
we're only going to have about 10 more minutes
Okay.
before we're going to need to step out to
Okay.
take care of this other issue.
Sure.
So we're going to give you about 10 minutes to kind of wrap up and
Sure.
continue the conversation where we left off.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, since we have a limited amount of time, what I want to do is just jump right into your sales force here, so I can gain a better understanding. You had mentioned that there is a long chain of management throughout the sales force. How are you currently managing and overseeing your sales representatives?
It's through those manual
It's
processes.
through the manual process, the
They
same
have
ones that-
daily and weekly, like
Okay.
Word type documents that they complete, daily call reports, weekly
Okay.
call reports, and they uplift that into through email and through the Word documents to the district managers, and it goes to the regional sales managers, and then I
Okay.
get it.
Okay, and what do you think the number one problem that you're running into in regards to this?
Time.
Time is most
It
certainly.
takes 4 to 6 hours every Friday
Okay.
for our sales organization to take that document and consolidate it into a report format and uplift it into
Okay.
through the email.
Okay.
So if I could gain just that 4 to 6 hours back in
Absolutely.
some way, I mean, it makes a huge positive impact on my productivity right there.
Okay. Could you explain that a little bit more? You're saying it would be beneficial for you as an organization to alleviate those time constraints of 46 hours to transfer information back and forth to sales representatives?
Well, that's the amount of time it's taking them to fill
Okay.
out the manual process
Okay.
reports.
Okay.
So they sit down pretty much on Friday afternoon and spend all afternoon just doing reports.
Okay.
And that's what's taking us so long. So
Okay.
if I could gain that back, that would be huge.
Okay.
The other thing I think you need to understand about our organization is that we are very old school.
Okay.
The people have been in these positions for a long, long time. We have very low turnover,
Okay.
and this is the way they've done it for some of these guys 20s and 30s years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So some of the ladies and the guy, they don't have a real interest in adopting the change. They think that the current process is working fine,
Okay.
and that's just part of our culture that we
Okay.
deal with.
So, in other words, you would have something that would be easy to use for your sales representatives, so they will have an incentive to switch to it and use it, so they can start, analyzing data and making better business
Yeah.
decisions.
And there's some part of the culture that they think that this is like Big Brother watching them.
Okay,
They have the comfort in keeping it all to themselves.
Okay.
And when you start declaring all that and uploading it even into like Outlook or things like that, then they get a little nervous.
Okay.
So, it's just a real different culture than probably
Okay.
what you're experiencing with most of your clients.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. Well, do you have any other concerns in regards to switching to a customer relationship management, or any other things that you would like one to do that's currently not happening throughout the organization right now?
Eric, what do you think?
I think my biggest concern is, our reps don't even have laptops.
Okay. in regards to when they go out on the field?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you're concerned about information being time consuming, like we had talked about, with time constraints between taking that information that they write on whatever tools that they're using, pen and paper, and storing it into a computer. Okay, all right. Is there any other concerns at all that you would have, or things that you would like to see?
I think those are the time it takes. Those are probably the main things in the reporting system.
All right. Absolutely. Well, right now I'd like to go ahead and present to you my product, Netsuite CRM Plus. I want to go ahead and show you how it's going to be more effective than the processes and tools that you're using to store your customer information right now, such as email and sticky pads and Microsoft Word. I want to show you how it's going to help your turnover rate in regards to managing your customer relationships and helping you use that information. I'm going to show you how it's going to be very time efficient and allowing for a universal system of information to be accessed throughout the organization. I'm going to show you how it's going to be easy to implement, so your sales reps will have an easy time and will be motivated to use the new information, and just show you how this is very it's in sync with lots of other devices, so you're not going to have any time constraints when receiving information into NetSuite. So does that sound like something you'd be wanting to talk about and possibly move on to the next step?
Yeah, I think we have an interest in that within our organization. That could be an area that would help us with solve some problems.
All right. Well, while you guys stepped out to save some time, I went ahead and logged in to the senior executive homepage, and this is actually what you're going to see when you log in. And everything's broken up into a tabular vision. What I mean by that is anything that you deem important throughout as an organization is going to be right here, easily viewable and accessible. So there's going to be no time constraints and fluttering around and looking for various devices. So let's go ahead and just uncover some of the business tools that we have, so you can effectively use your customer information, possibly in regards to sales and marketing. So if you want to go ahead and highlight the sales and marketing tab, we'll get a little interactive here. I'm going to scoot over so allow for all of you to use it.
Here?
Yeah, absolutely.
This tab right here?
Absolutely. And just go ahead and click on Sales and Marketing Overview.
Okay.
And this is just one of the many tools that NetSuite has that you're not going to find with Microsoft Word or any of these other types of applications. And what this is just a breakthrough of essentially your sales representatives, their selling efforts and your customer relationships, all their information in regards to how your marketing campaigns are working in regards to target markets and which ones are the most profitable. So this is just one of very many business tools that you can use to analyze information and make very wise business decisions. So do you feel pretty good about that?
Yeah, I feel good about that. If we can just get all that data in there, I know I guess that's part of my challenge. Because it's all in paper form, business cards, scratch pads, notepads, sticky notes.
Absolutely.
In 30 different locations.
30 different locations.
So how do we get all that in there?
Okay.
Once you get there, that makes perfectly clear sense.
Absolutely. Well, you had mentioned that you use Microsoft Word and various other Microsoft programs to use that. So that all that is in sync with NetSuite, so that's automatically going to be updated into our system here. And I'm going to go ahead and let you go to Home and scroll down to Contacts, just to show you how easy it is to enter your contacts. Let's see if we can get this here. Right there.
So if I'm using Outlook today and I enable this technology, it will take that database from Outlook through the contacts view and upload those into this tool.
Absolutely. It's extremely fast, extremely easy to use.
Very
and when you had mentioned with anything on paper is extremely fast, as you can see here, this was done within a few minutes while I was waiting in the office. This was done in just a few minutes of potential customers that you had. So you can see how it is extremely fast and easy to store some information in there.
Interesting.
Okay. Feel pretty good about that?
I feel better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about. Let's see. You had mentioned that there was a little bit of concerns when implementing a new system with your sales representatives, and they may be hesitant to use it.
Okay. Very much so. Okay. It's part of the culture challenge that we have.
Okay. Well, we pride ourselves in NetSuite of being extremely customer oriented or extremely sales representative oriented. And what I mean by that is it's extremely easy to use and implement. I know you're familiar with Frank over at Sunset Corporations, and we about 6 months ago we went ahead and got him set up with NetSuite, and he said this about it: my mom could pick up NetSuite in about 3 or 4 minutes. So I think that is a pretty bold statement.
That's very bold. That's not my mother for sure.
Absolutely. And he had mentioned to me that as sales representatives, he had a very similar concern, and he had mentioned that they're very happy with it. And there's various types of support tools, such as interactive online tutoring and demonstrations. There's glossary, there's help, and it's fully customizable. So you're going to go ahead and be creating exactly what you want your sales representatives to use. So all those tools that you think fit into your organization's culture are going to be set up by you to allow for your sales representatives to use that. So you feel pretty good about that?
Yeah, I think so. There's still a little bit of a challenge I have because the reps don't have laptops in the field.
Okay.
So how do we, I guess it's a manual process. At the end of every day, they have to go back home and key all this stuff. New type of
Okay, very good concern. Do they have Blackberries or cell phones? Or
cell phones.
Cell phones,
Yeah.
okay. Well, NetSuite is fully syncable with various mobile devices. What I mean by that is all information can be stored via cell phone, via Blackberry. They also have an offline application which allows you to add information in and universally store it. And all this information is going to automatically be updated every time NetSuite is logged in. So it really is going to be very time conservative. So do you feel pretty good about that?
Yeah, that helps.
Okay. Alrighty.
If they'll do it.
If they'll do it.
If they'll do it. That's the challenge we have.
I do believe they will. Right there in Sunset. So do you feel that I've thoroughly covered all of your concerns right now and alleviated any sort of question that you would have with NetSuite?
To this point, yes.
To this point? Okay. Do you have any questions or objections before we move forward?
No, we haven't gotten into the cost structure and how the technology is deployed. I mean, implementation would be something, and training because of these people. I would say that take your normal training Gantt chart and it's double that.
It's double that? Okay. Could you explain that just a little bit?
Our people are very slow.
Okay. And your
They're not going to be fast adapters to any technology. Is that right?
Well, maybe the people outside the room.
The people in the field.
The people in the field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, of course, we'll pick up on it very quickly.
Okay, I see. So you're concerned about something that's going to be hard to take up and taking up a little bit of cost control.
You have to realize our culture, and some of these employees have been around so long, they're making an incredibly large amount of money.
Okay.
And they think data entry and keying is beneath them.
Okay.
Their job is to sell the big deals and bring in the bacon, and they're not going to spend time. Some of them even have like their wives doing it at home. And so a lot of different ways this gets into the system, even today. So that's going to be a challenge that we're going to have to overcome.
Okay. So what you're saying is you want something that's going to be price efficient, so that this isn't overcoming the challenges.
Very much so.
Okay. Well, you had mentioned that you do use Microsoft Word and various other types of programs, and just some hidden costs. I'm going to go ahead and dig into that.
Okay.
What we call these are manage it yourself type programs.